dreamers, and welcome back to Dream Queen by Perla. As always, guys, thank you for your love and support. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing to the channel. If you haven't done so, I encourage you to do so. It helps with growing the channel, getting the video out there for more people, as well as keeping me accountable. For personal readings, all that information can be found down below in the description. All right, so we have Sagittarius Capricorn Cusp. It's getting hot in here because my glasses are getting foggy. Let me stop. You're kind of like in a very I know they brought the temperature down. Sorry. You guys are in a very like celebrating type of energy. It's almost kind of like you're bringing in, or you're holding on, or trying to hold on to like the energy of like the holidays, whether that is just the being around people, the dancing, the eating, it's just celebrating. And you're not wanting to go back to normal. You're not wanting to turn off that switch, right? A lot of you are trying to bring that festive type of energy into everything that you do. Because for whatever the reason, during this recent past with the holidays or whatever, you were reconnected with something from your past, whether this was a person or whether this was a hobby, right? There was this rekindling of something innocent, something maybe from like your childhood, right? Maybe this has to do with certain traditions and things that maybe you haven't been able to do for the past few years, and you were finally able to do it. Regardless of whatever it is, there is a sense here of just kind of like not wanting to lose it, right? Not wanting to go back to a space where everything just feels like like doom and gloom, let's just put it that way. And it's kind of like it's almost kind of like you're almost like in a high type of energy, like I don't know who has done drugs and who hasn't, but if you've ever experienced, and I mean, it doesn't have to necessarily be with drugs, because I've experienced this high just based on like being in nature. But have you ever experienced that high where it's just kind of like and like everything is just like perfect and amazing, and you don't want to come out of like cloud nine, right? But at times it's like okay, it's amazing to be there, but there's also kind of like needing to find that balance, right? And needing to bring the energy of that high or whatever into what it is that you do on a daily basis. So this is kind of like, all right, let's say if music puts you in a high spirit, right, where you're happy and you're joyful and you're dancing and you're just feeling it and everything, right? Then bring music into like when you're cooking, when you're cleaning, when you're this, to kind of like lift your spirits up when you're doing things that you really may not enjoy as much doing, right? And everybody's different, right? One of my weirdest things that I enjoy doing that people think is crazy is I like to iron. Like with an ironing board and an iron, like to me, along with like cooking and many other things, it puts me into a trance where I am able to really silence the world around me, right? And it's not something that I do as often anymore, but it is something that if I have the opportunity, like I'm like the first one to jump onto it, right? Like the ironing and stuff like that. So it is almost kind of like bring the energy of whatever makes you happy or whatever brings you that peace, that calming energy into everything else that you're doing. So I am one, I clean with music, I cook with music, I do a lot of things with music because and it's different types of music for different types of things, right? There's different rhythms, different tones, different everything that goes in combination for me personally when I'm doing different things. So that would be a way to continue on bringing that festive energy and not necessarily needing to let it go, right? Because it's almost kind of like when you go back to normal, right? When you go back to work, when you go back to whatever, it's like you leave your festive spirit wherever it is that the festivities happen, and you're being told that in reality you don't have to do that, right? It is more about integrating what your spirit has experienced, right? What you have experienced as far as like your spiritual journey into what it is that you're doing at this moment in time in this reality, and what it is that you're trying to create. So when you're able to find that balance, then things just turn like they just turned out how can I put it this way? They just kind of flow a lot easier, and um you tend to meet less resistant than you're used to, right? A lot of people focus a lot on what it is that they have to do physically, not realizing how much your spiritual aspect of everything can make everything else a lot the transition between it, or the energy between it, a lot easier for manifestation and for growth. So let's go ahead and let's pull out a few tarot for you guys. Why did we get 4? We only needed 3. All right. So we have the Lovers with the Knight of Swords in the reverse. So again, a lot of you are trying not to let go of this energy. You're not trying to force it either, but you're trying to do something each day, or you're trying to figure out a way to stay in this festive energy, or in this high that you may have felt from this. With the Two of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, is like not wanting to go back into an energy where everything seems kind of like gloom and doom, right? And it's like, okay, you have the choice as to how you see life, and as to how you choose to move forward with things. So a lot of people may think, may have the opinion, let's put it this way, with you being so joyful, you being so happy, and this and this and that, and maybe that in itself in the past may have stopped you, right? But it's like, why are you letting that stop you, right? Sometimes I'd be up here and I'd be just cracking up, and I always say, like, I'd be high on life. And when you are high on life, people that have never experienced that kind of look at you like you're either like pretending, or like you're being fake, or this and this and that. And it's like, I've been to places where I have literally been asked, not because I'm slurring my words or anything like that, but because I'm so, like, I guess extremely happy, and like exhibiting like this kind of joy, blissful energy. I've been asked, like, oh, how many drinks have you had? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I had like 6 glasses of water today. Like, we're almost there. And people just do not there is this notion of people not being able to understand how somebody can be happy or in a state of joy without doing something to get there, whether it is drinking, whether it's doing drugs, or whatever it is. So I could let people that ask me if I how many drinks I've had, like as far as like alcohol, this and this and that, stop me from my tracks, right, when it comes to that. But in reality, the feeling of joy, that happiness, that energy of feeling completely connected to everything in this world is amazing, and nothing compares to it. That high you get of life, it's like once you have a taste of it, that's really where you want to be at all the time. So let's go ahead and let's pull out a love energy card. Now, this doesn't have to necessarily be romantic. This can be self-love, or your passion for your career or a hobby. So let's go ahead and see. We have, let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. So, this may be where maybe before the holidays you tend to lose touch with family members or with certain friends or whatever it is, and it only takes like big events or big things to reconnect with people. And it's like you're being told like it's okay for you to stay connected to people. It is okay for you to be with those that you enjoy their company and enjoy being in their presence. And it's like kind of like, you know, you don't have to wait for a special event to reach out for like to reach out to someone or to want to spend time with someone. So you know, a very simple example is I have many cousins, and I'm talking about like, you know, we're like the 30 plus, and just on my dad's side, right? We are a huge family. But there is a group of us that have a group chat, and we find any excuse and every excuse to meet up at least like once a month. Unless something happens, then we push it up to like you know, every 2 months or something like that. But we really try our best because we're like around the same age. We really try our best, and we're in different states and things like that. But we really try our best to meet up at least once a month and not just wait until there is an actual event to see each other. So let's go ahead and let's get your closing message. We have rooted. I really like this. Number 34. May you never tear the living ritual that is magic merged within the roots of your being, the soil of your soul. So this energy of wanting to stay in this festive energy, this energy of feeling high on life is who you are. And it's a beautiful thing. And don't allow anyone or anything rob you from this. Well, guys, that is all that I have. Sending every single one of you love, strength, and blessing, guys. Take care. Love you all. Mwah. Bye-bye.